Hi guys, it's Dr. Debbie Pates. We're going to begin in just a moment. I will be right back. All right. I believe, yeah, right at noon. So come on to your mat. My name is Dr. Debbie Pates, and I am a psychologist at the Wellness Center at UCCS, and I am also a registered yoga teacher. And we are doing yoga virtually for the foreseeable future. Um, this yoga has been for many years brought to you guys as a partnership between the Wellness Center and the Gallery of Contemporary Arts on campus. A bonus of doing yoga at home is animals. A bonus of doing yoga in the gallery is the wonderful experience of being among the art. And hopefully sometime we will be able to return to that. I don't know about you guys, but with campus getting ready to reopen and the students coming back, things have gone from, summer schedule, summer COVID schedule, to wow, things are moving really quickly. So in response to that, I thought perhaps we'd do a bit more mellow practice. But we're going to start the same way we always do. So come on into child's pose. Bring your forehead to the mat. Allow your forehead to rest on the mat. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat or you don't feel comfortable that way, maybe you grab a block, or you can stack one hand on the other, one fist on the other, and then you make a choice. Do you want to have your knees wide, or do you want to have your knees together? And if your knees are together, perhaps you have your hands alongside your body facing up. If your knees are apart or together, maybe you reach your arms out in front of you. And let your hips, your butt sink toward your heels, but keep your forehead on the ground, right? So this is where the differences in everybody's body already start to play into how your body's going to show up in practice. There's a meditation teacher named Shauna Shapiro. You can find a really lovely TED Talk that she does. It's Shauna, and then Shapiro, Shapiro. And she talks about waking up every morning and looking in the mirror and saying to herself, "Good morning, I love you." And she's very beautiful, so I'm like, yeah, I do the same thing. But like all of us, she had her own journey, and that wasn't always so easy for her. And recently, I've begun doing that. She talks about how at first she didn't believe it, or it felt fake, or false, or there was the yeah, really, well, but look at your hair, or whatever her dialogue, whatever your dialogue around that might be. And I decided I was going to start doing it. Recently, I, for a variety of reasons, but whatever, have become my self-critical voice on my body has turned up. And so I decided that I was going to implement that, both looking in the mirror in the morning, say, "Good morning, I love you," while looking at myself, and at those other times when the critical voice comes up, and maybe even directing it at arms, "I love you," or legs, "I love you," or stomach, "I love you." So I invite you, as we move through this practice, to perhaps, when you hear your own critical voice come up, to begin to, instead of buying into that dialogue about your feet being ugly or ankles being fat or whatever it is, look at that body part and name that body part and say, thank you, I love you. Push up onto your hands and knees and start to move through cat-cows. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips, and you know what to do here. Maybe on your exhales, you're pushing up through your shoulder blades, becoming concave, chin to chest, tailbone tucks, and on your inhales, convex, allowing your stomach to drop, your hips, your butt, and your head lift. And if you want, with whatever breath works for you, moving side to side, around, just allowing your body, allowing perhaps an increase in stress. If, again, like me, your schedule went from about 25 to 125, just allow your body to, show you what's present and allow your mind to be receptive, not reactive. So it is going to be a way chiller practice, but we'll start with a few gentle sun salutations, gentle meaning normal sun salutations, but allow yourself to take them gently. So from hands and knees, walk your hands forward a little bit, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, come on into downward facing dog. And if you want to check the length of your dog, maybe you rock forward into high plank. And in high plank, what you want ideally is your hands directly underneath your shoulders. And then and with your heels pushing back. And then without moving your hands or your heels, push into your hands, send your hips up, create a long spine. And then let your heels sink toward the ground. Bring your navel in toward your spine. Breathe. Feel your body really strong and engaged here. You can always drop your knees at any time if this feels too intense for you. Push your hands into the ground. Roll the weight inward so that your forearms are spiraling toward each other. Maybe you feel a shift from weight in your pinky side to weight more in your pointer finger side of your hand. And then perhaps keeping that internal rotation of forearms, roll your biceps up. Please breathe. Take a bunch of baby steps and walk to the top of your mat. Hang in ragdoll. Maybe bend your elbows and tuck your hands in the crook of opposite elbow. Let your head hang. Take the wrinkles out of the back of your neck. Let your head be heavy. Release your jaw. Release your teeth. Release the wrinkles at the corners of your eyes. And then roll up. Choose if you want to have your feet hip width distance or together. Roll your shoulders up and back and down. We're going to come back to this movement sitting on the floor. So just a couple of times, rolling your shoulders, letting you feel good. And then sun A, at least what I can see here, and I angle my screen a little differently. I can't see my own head at all. Not that I need to see my head, but maybe that's weird for you. If you still can't see it, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Inhale your arms up, sun A. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen out, halfway lift. Neck is neutral. Forward fold. Put your hands down. High plank. Knees can be on or off the floor. Shift forward and lower halfway or all the way. Come to upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, in and out breath. Make your way back to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Sweep your arms out. Rise with a flat back. Bring your hands together overhead. And bring your palms into your heart. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Try to step back, opposite foot, high plank, lower chaturanga. That's an exhale, maybe. Upward facing or cobra is an inhale. Downward facing dog and breathe. So as always, if the patterns of my breath don't work for you, then just use my breathing cues as a reminder to breathe. Step to the top of your space. Lengthen. Refold. Flat back brings you to the surface. Arms up, overhead, and pull energy back into your heart and pause. Breathe. Arms up. One more sun A. Fold. Lengthen halfway up. Put your hands down and step back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, always an option. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Engage your quadriceps and push through the backs of your knees. Maybe roll your inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Let your heels continue to sink. Breathe. Thank you, body. I love you. Look in between your hands and step to the top of your space. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Sweep your arms out. Rise up with a flat back. Bring your hands together overhead. Hands into your heart. Arms up. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Your stomach is engaged here. Your back is working. You're sinking down. Your butt is sticking out. And your arms are reaching up. Maybe biceps by your ears. Maybe that's not something that works real well for you. So you decide and breathe. And then fold, fold. Halfway lift. Hands down. Step back. High plank. Lower chaturanga or all the way to laying on the floor. Inhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into the air. Let your left heel continue to sink. Bend your right knee. Open your hip. Make circles. Let it feel good. And then let's just switch sides on that. Bring your right leg down. Push your right heel toward the floor a little bit. And lift your left leg up. Bend your left knee. And make some circles. Let it feel good. Maybe your knee, maybe your ankle. Maybe you hear some popping. Just accept what your body's got for you and put your left leg back down next to your right. Lift your right leg up again. Bend your knee and bring it through, low lunge. Heel underneath your knee. Spin your back foot flat and rise up to warrior one. We're going to do a few, just real simple and basic sun bees. Taking it slowly. Open up warrior two. Keep your right knee tracking over your right fingertips. Keep your torso upright even as your hands reach forward and back. Keep your jaw relaxed. Keep your toes loose. Resist the death grip. Reach forward. Extended side angle. So maybe you start with your right forearm on your right thigh. You might, and then start with your right forearm on your right thigh, unless you know you can go further already. But start there, and then really think about lengthening between both sides of your body. So not crunching too much in the right side of your body here. And then, okay, left arm is up, or maybe you have your left arm over your left bicep by your right ear. Then perhaps you experiment with, can I keep that flatness, that length in my right side and go further down? Maybe my hand all the way toward the floor, inside or outside of your right leg. You can also have your hand on a block. And if you're going down that far, your knee is probably going to be jutting beyond your arm. And then let's move on. Keep the bend in your knee. Come to a reverse warrior. Your right arm is going down, or your left arm rather, is going down your left leg. Your right arm is reaching up and back. Breathe. You look up, you look down, you look straight. You do whatever works for your neck. And then windmill your hands to the ground. Come up on your left toes. Step back with your right foot, high plank to downward facing dog. Lift up your left leg. Bend your knee and bring it through for a low lunge. Spin your back foot flat. Come on up, warrior one. Push into your back foot to get your right hip facing forward. Your left knee, think about it moving forward, but also as we move into warrior two, continuing to engage so that it's tracking more toward your left pinky toe than your knee collapsing inward, which is very common, right? The knee collapses inward a little here. So we engage the inner thigh, move the knee back, reach forward, connect, length on both sides, right? So maybe left forearm on left thigh, right arm up, and then you perhaps want to experiment with taking it further. You bring your arm down. Wherever you are, breathe. Try to tap into, again, that length on both sides of the body. Posture doesn't need to be static. You can move around. You can experiment with what you like better. And then reverse your warrior. Right arm down your right leg. Left arm up and back. Straightening my knee a little because my quad is burning. But try to keep your knee bent, reverse warrior, and then windmill down. Step back to chaturanga and make your way to down dog, whether that's through vinyasa or just lifting your hips. Maybe you sigh. Let's do that whole thing one more time. So look in between your hands and make your way to the top of your space. Inhale and lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, come on down, fold, fold. Bend your knees, reach your arms up, chair pose. Come to standing, bring your hands together, and pull your energy into your own heart. Inhale your arms up. Chair. Fold. Halfway lift. High plank. Low plank to downward facing dog. Right leg lift. Step it through, low lunge. Spin your back foot flat. Warrior one. Open, warrior two. Reach, extended side angle. Let it be good and juicy. Reverse warrior. Inhale, windmill down. Make your way to dog. Downward facing, not upward facing, although maybe both. And then from downward facing dog, lift your left leg. Low lunge. Warrior one. Find it, land. Warrior two. Reach and extend. Breath here. Reverse your warrior. And all the way down to the floor. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Two. Downward facing dog. And from here, drop your knees. Walk up toward the top of your mat. Hero's pose. Separate your heels wider than your hips. And do your best to sit your butt down on the ground. And if your butt goes down on the ground and you're having no issue here, then maybe you start to walk back a little bit more. If you are having an issue, just sit on a block. Thank you, thighs. I love you. Thank you, tops of my feet. I love you. Thank you, stomach. I love you. If you're laying all the way down on the ground, maybe you take your hands above your head on the floor and you clasp opposite elbow. And whatever it is that you're doing, breathe. Breathe into what it is that you're feeling. Maybe you're even having a reaction to this theme that I've got going for us today. And so breathe into that. Breathe into whatever's showing up and try to work with it rather than working against it. However you feel about your body, it's the one you've got for the rest of your life. So, how much more pleasant it seems to have a relationship of kindness and respect with it than a relationship of adversity and criticism. If you're on your back, start to walk your way back up. Come on to your knees, and then make your way to hands and knees. Stretch out your right leg, give it a shake. Stretch out your left leg, give it a shake. And then put your left knee down and tuck your toes, lift your knees, come to downward facing dog. Let your heels sink. Drop your forearms to the ground. Coming into dolphin. So you can stay right here, or if you want, walk your feet a little bit closer to your hands. So there is an arm balance. We didn't warm up a lot. There's an arm balance you can do from here. If you know what I'm talking about and you feel ready, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, just work on having your hands, your elbows parallel with your shoulders and your hands parallel with your elbows. And work on breathing in this very strong shoulder pose. And then, with some good strength, push into your hands and come back to down dog. Take a bunch of baby steps, come to your hands, Inhale to a halfway lift. Lengthen, or rather forward fold, and take that length down with you. I guess you could say lengthen into a forward fold. And then sweep your arms up. Bring your hands together, overhead, and bring your hands into your heart. Inhale your arms up. We're going to do a little bit of balancing before we come onto the floor. Chair. Let's do eagle. Bring your right arm underneath your left. Cross at the elbows. Interlace or clasp opposite hands. Sink down. And then bring your right leg up and over your left. If you can, maybe you slither your right foot behind your left calf. Try to keep your gaze at one point of focus. It's called drishti. Engage your stomach muscles here. Maybe lift your elbows up to shoulder height. Maybe move your hands away from your face. Your breath is your friend. Release. Stand up. Switch sides. Chair. Left arm under. Left leg up and over. And all those checks, perhaps lift up your shoulders, or lift up your elbows rather, to be in line with your shoulders. Maybe move your hands away from your face. You could also pull your elbows down and bring your thumbs in line with your chin. Maybe you can slither your left foot behind your right calf. Whatever you do, please breathe. And then release. Inhale your arms up. And bring your hands together. And bring your hands into your heart. Tree pose. Bring your weight into your left foot. And bring your right foot somewhere onto your left leg. Perhaps your toes are on the floor. Your shin, or maybe up to your inner thigh. And then if you want to change hand position, go ahead and do that. And if you could see me, my hands, probably not, but my arms are lifted above my head in a kind of V shape, and my thumb is tucked into my pointer finger. Same idea with drishti. Looking at one thing that's not moving is going to help steady your gaze. And then bring your right foot back down. And let's switch sides. Tree, standing on your right foot. Left foot comes up. Find the position first. And then maybe you take an arm position. Same arm position, different arm position, whatever you like. Remember that tree is also a hip opener, so you want to be working your knee out to the left, toward the left, rather than having your knee coming straight forward. You want to be trying, right? All we could do is try. And then release. Come on back down. One more balancing sequence here. And if you have a block, perhaps grab it and walk to the top of your space and put your block down by your right hand, right outside of your right leg, and shift your weight. Roll your shoulders up and back and down, and turn your palms to face forward. Shift your weight into your right leg, and then let's begin to teeter-totter back. You can maybe point your left foot back behind you and start to shift your weight down, coming into airplane. And try to keep your upper body and your arms and your lifting left leg in line. Try. And then maybe you lift your arms higher than everything. Put a little bit of up dog in your chest. And then bring your hands into your heart and begin to open up into half moon. So you're going to bring your hands down onto that block if you want to use it. You want the block to be so that your arm goes straight down from your shoulder and it can rest on the block. And then try to bring your leg and your torso, your left leg and torso, parallel to the ground and reach your left arm straight up. You do your best. A lot of engagement here. And if you're not using the block, maybe you have arm length to have your hand on the floor, or you might be balancing. If your hand is on the floor, you want to, again, like we did earlier, maintain that length in both sides of the body. And then just keep your left leg up. Let's do standing splits a minute. Turn your torso back to the floor. Stand up. Feel a nice stretch, perhaps, through the calf and Achilles of your right leg here. And then bring your left leg down. Take your block if you're using it and switch sides. So bring the block on the outside of your left leg and roll up to standing. Shoulders roll up and back and down. Well, they don't automatically, you have to do it. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Shine your palms forward. Shift your weight into your left leg. Point your toe and bring your right leg back behind you. Get your arms active, triceps are working, and begin to tilt forward. Again, trying to, for the beginning of this, keep your arms, torso, and leg in line. And then once you feel like you've gotten to a place where, that it's a good spot for you, maybe get a little bit of up dog in your upper body, maybe even lifting your arms higher than your leg and torso. Breath flowing. Notice how perhaps when you get frustrated, if your balance is challenging maybe, you start in with the negative self-talk. Bring your hands to your heart. Open up. Half moon. Your left hand can come down to your block or wherever, the floor. Try to get your right leg parallel to the ground. Lift your right arm up. Try to get your torso in line with your leg. And maybe you open up to the side. Whatever you're doing, please breathe. Be active in the poses. Be active in your practice. Be active in your life. Turn your torso back down, standing splits, right hands. Come to the ground for one more moment. Left leg, right leg stays up. Did I say right hands? Right leg stays up. Nice stretch through your left leg maybe. And then bring your right leg back down. And just come out of sitting on the floor. Come to a cross-legged position. I'm going to grab a little cheat sheet I've got here, and we're going to start to do neck rolls. So just take note of whichever leg you've got in front of the other. Bring your hand really onto your legs and drop your chin to your chest. Pause here, breathe. And then start to roll your neck in one direction. Roll your head in one direction. Being kind to your neck. Keeping your spine upright. No need to move quickly. We did some warming up. And for the rest of the practice, we're pretty much going to be on the floor here. We're still going to be moving. And these movements may be challenging to you. But they're not going to be quick. And sometimes actually slower movements are more challenging for people than quick movements. When you get to center next time, reverse the direction. Reconnect with your shoulders, up and back and down. You might have to pause your rolling for a sec. Notice whether rolling in this direction presents any different challenges or sensations. Thank you, neck. I love you. Hold up my head. It's kind of a big deal. And then break your way back. Chin to chest. And lift your head up. So change the cross of your legs. So whichever leg was in front, move that guy in back. And place your hands, actually place your hands kind of in your, well, in front of your crotch, I guess. And start to roll your hands, shoulders rather. Start to roll your shoulders up and back and down. And let your hands go where they will. If you'd like to then place them somewhere static. But what I don't want is for your hands to be interfering with the rolling motion. That's really why I'm not giving you a hand position. You just choose. Just keep breathing as you do this rolling. And then bring your hands onto your knees and flex your spine forward and then back. Cat-cow seated kind of position. But here you can kind of hang on your knees as you go back and really round your shoulders and then push into your knees, bring your chest forward as you come forward. Just a few more of these. And then come on back to center and come into a straddle. So make your legs as wide as you can. Some people can do almost a full split. Some people's legs are barely wider than their mat. You see this is what I've got today. And then begin to have your hands behind you. And do that shoulder roll up, back, and down again. And begin to hinge forward. And tap into your humility. In a moment, we're going to bring our hands back in front of us. And the weight from our arms and our shoulders is going to bring your torso down closer to the ground. But just notice right now where you are, how low your body's going, and notice how you feel about that. Some of you guys may be laying on the floor already. Some of you guys may be much less toward the earth than you're accustomed to being. Okay, and now bring your hands in front of you. And notice, so here I go. I'm a lot further down now. Well, that's partly the weight of your upper body. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. So we're coming down the center. Try to move your head away from your body so that you're not rounding, but you're lengthening. Walk your body over to your right side. And first, I want you to have your right hand on the outside of your right leg and your left hand inside. And try to sort of, shimmy your torso a little bit over your leg. Keep your left butt cheek on the ground. And then to whatever extent you can, bow over your right leg. If you can bring your elbows down onto the ground, try to bring your left elbow down, your inner elbow down first. All right, it's easier to roll out, but we want to be squared over the leg. Now bring your right elbow inside your right knee. Roll your rib cage open. Keep your left butt cheek on the ground. Left bicep over your left ear. Maybe you can grab your right toes. Reach and breathe. Allow time to deepen these postures. Reach even further than you want to for one moment with your left arm. Come on up. Down the center. Roll over to your left side. And same thing. Kind of coax your upper body to turn over your left leg. And if you can, you might have a real different experience on this side. If you can, allow your right elbow, your inside elbow, to come down before your left elbow. Keep your right butt cheek on the ground. For me, it's a lot easier to get my elbows toward the ground. They're not on the ground today, but sometimes in this position they are. And then bring your left elbow inside. Roll your rib cage open. Right bicep by your right ear, right butt cheek connects to the ground again. It's not about how far you go, it's about getting the stretch. So thinking about anchoring your right butt cheek into the ground and lifting up from that anchor, lifting, root to rise. And then reaching your right arm towards your left foot, maybe even clasping your left foot. And then come on back up. Turn your feet flat, or bend your knees and bring your feet flat. We're going to do a seated figure 4. So bring your, you're going to have your hands on the floor behind your back. Bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. You might already feel what we're looking for here. So if you feel something, good. You don't have to go any further. But if you don't feel anything, maybe you walk your hands a little bit closer. So seated figure 4 is going to work these same muscle and joint groups as pigeon does, essentially, in your lower body. So you might want to push your thigh toward your left foot, toward the bottom of your mat. You might want to move your butt closer to your left foot. Don't slouch in your upper body though. Really stay lifted in your upper body and breathe. Breathe into this position. Breathe into what you're feeling. Good morning, good afternoon, I love you. Turn this into a twist. Left foot, what you could just do is kind of toe heel your left foot over a little bit toward the right side of your body, and then let your left knee come down and your right foot come down on the floor. Sit up. You want your right foot flat. And you're going to have to wiggle around to make this work a little bit better. Bring your, my left foot by your right butt cheek. Sit up tall. Bring your right hand behind your back. Lift your left arm up. Twist towards your right side. And then let your left elbow hook your right knee. Some people can grab their knee with their left hand there. You might keep your hand up like a stop sign. Whatever. Don't get too caught up in this part of it. But let it be a nice twist. Trying to keep your spine up tall. And then we're going to reverse. So unwind, both feet flat, left ankle on top of your right knee. So I get my left ankle on top of my knee, and then I like to pull the foot down a little bit more. And then I figure out, right? I don't automatically go into what I did last time. I figure out, okay, do I have enough sensation here? And if I have enough sensation here, I give my body permission to be right here. Normally in this posture for me, I want to tighten it up a little more. I want to push my thigh forward toward my right foot. Sometimes I want to tuck my foot in a little bit more today. I feel all right where I am. And then you breathe. part of your body you weren't feeling real good about right now, and say, I love you to that part of your body. One more moment, really give it what you need to give it in this seated figure four. And now creep your right foot over to the left. Then let your right knee drop to the floor and your left foot come to the floor on the outside of your right thigh. Sit up tall. Make whatever adjustments you need to. We're moving into a seated twist. Left hand comes behind your back. Point your right arm straight out and follow that right arm as you twist to your left. Hook your right arm on your left thigh. Maybe you grab onto your right knee. You don't let the twist be juicy. Let your breath be your friend in these postures. Let your mind be your friend in these postures. And then unwind. And we're going to do a shoulder. We're going to do cow face, which is another hip opener, and a shoulder stretch. So I did not say to grab a strap. I'm going to grab mine. If you have a strap handy, go ahead and grab it. Maybe run and get a kitchen towel, or maybe don't even bother because you can do the hand position anyway. So cow face, you want to, let's start with bending the left knee and bring the knee in front of your body. So it's not, you're not having the knee wide like going into regular cross-legged position. Knees in front of your body, you kind of want your thigh extending sort of straight out. And then bring your right knee on top of your left leg so that your knees are stacked. Sometimes I like to come forward onto hands and knees and sort of tighten that up and then sit back. Okay? So here's basic cow face legs. And then take your strap or towel or just your right hand, bring your right bicep up by your right ear, bend your elbow, drop your hand behind your back, and then take your left hand and bring it behind your back and try to get your hand up in between your shoulder blades, even clasping hands, some people can do that, or grabbing onto your strap or whatever. And if you don't have whatever, then just put your arms in this position and do your best. So for a lot of us, this is going to be enough right here. Please breathe. If you need more sensation, bow forward. Please breathe. I was going to say bleed. Sorry, that's kind of counter to the point. So this is a very challenging position for lots of people. Good morning, I love you. Thank you. I love you. Body, wow, I sure take advantage of you. I take you for granted. I'm mean to you so much of the time. That's not nice. I'm sorry. Because really, I love you. And I'm so grateful for all that you do for me. I wake up in the morning and I open my eyes and I can see. And I hear maybe birds singing, people in my household, or the garbage truck going by. Thank you. I can hear. And then I sit up and all those muscles work. And then I put my feet on the floor and I stand up and all that works. Release your top arm. Bring it down. Let your left arm come out slowly. Do a little shoulder rolling. And then we're going to switch sides on the legs. So a fun way to do that is to shift forward and start to twist. Keep your feet where they are. Start to twist your body toward the left. Come on back. Stand up. twisting, 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 and moving in a counterclockwise direction. And then, ta-da, ta-da, you sit and your left knee is stacked on top of your right. I'm going to take the arm position again. So this time, your left arm is going to grab your strap or your whatever, or your nothing. And you're going to bend your left arm behind your back, reach your right arm down, and then up. For most of us right-handers, this side is a lot more challenging. So, okay, it is what it is. Maybe you could clasp hands on the other side, and on this side you can't. Maybe this is easier for you. Okay, there it is. Maybe you want to bow forward. So I think we sat up in bed, or maybe we stood up. Thank you, body. That's awesome. And then you walk to the bathroom, and your knees are working, and your lungs are working, and you get to the toilet, and hey, look at that. All that stuff's working. Thank you, body. That's a bonus. Because it sure would suck if my digestive system weren't working. My urinary tract and my digestive tract, my poop tract, whatever you call that, weren't working. That would suck. That would be rough. You'd have to go to the hospital and get all kinds of procedures. Thank you, body. Cool. Etc., etc. You eat your food and it digests. And we abuse our bodies too. We don't always think about it as abuse, but we might do really hard exercise, or we might smoke cigarettes or marijuana or drink alcohol. I'm not saying that those are abusive behaviors, right? But we just expect our body. Some are better than others. I'm certainly not suggesting you smoke cigarettes. There's no benefit whatsoever in that. But anyway, we just expect our body to assimilate all these things. Thank you, body. Wow, you're pretty miraculous. A few more breaths here. And then release your left hand. Let your right arm come out slowly. Ooh, that's a rough one, huh? Make some shoulder circles. And then come on to your stomach. Just make your way there. Come onto your stomach. And bring your hands into cobra position. Elbows tight in. And let's take a couple of cobras. So when you're ready, keep your elbows tight in by your body. Inhale and lift. Have little to no weight in your hands right now. So really allow the lift to come from the muscles in your back. Try to keep your buttocks soft. You're not lifting your legs yet. We're going to do that soon. Right? Try to keep your neck long. Elbows are in. And then come on down. Turn your head to one side. Bring your arms alongside your body, palms facing up. We're not going to be in this position for very long, so really enjoy it while you got it. All right. Bring your chin or your forehead to the mat. Turn your palms down toward the ground this time. And then keep your hands down for right now and lift your legs up. And then keep your hands down and lift your torso up. So your hands are down, but your legs and your torso are lifting. Upper body, a little bit of up dog. Shoulders are back, your triceps are active here. Release it. Turn your head the opposite direction. Flip your palms up. Again, get it while you can. Get it while you can. Chin or forehead back to the floor. Clasp clasp your hands behind your back, bound locust. When you're ready, lift it off. Bound locust. Try to keep your neck long. So don't think about looking up. I do that sometimes. I'm trying to project my voice. But try to look down and think about getting length in the back of your neck rather than height. And then maybe length and then height. Come on down, turn your head to the opposite side. Try to get your ear on the mat. Move your chin away from your shoulder. Head center again. Bow pose. Bend your knees and grab your feet or your ankles. Kick. Lift. Let it feel good. Maybe flex your feet. Maybe don't. Maybe play with it. Do I want to flex my feet? Oh yeah, that feels good. No, that feels bad. Whatever. Lift your thighs. Release. And turn your head to the other side. Maybe windshield wiper your legs back and forth or in and out, whichever way you like. And then push your body up and come to Anahatasana, extended child's pose. Let's thread the needle. So take your right arm and slide it palm up underneath your left armpit. Come on to the outside of your right shoulder. Keep either your forehead on the mat or turn your right ear toward the ground. And shift your body around so that you get a good stretch for yourself here. This is, I can't really talk you into any posture one size fits all, but this one especially. Shift around until you find a nice stretch. Then come on back to center and switch sides. Slide your left arm underneath your right armpit, forehead, or left ear on the mat. Make whatever movements and adjustments you need to. Feel it where you feel it. And then come back to center, come to seated, roll onto your back, and let's move right into plow and shoulder stand. So put your hands flat. If you know where to go, just go there. Using a little momentum, pick your feet up and bring them toward the floor behind you overhead. And then bring your hands onto your back if they weren't already. And lift your legs up toward the sky, allowing the weight of your hips to sink into your hands. There should be very little to no weight on your neck here. Feet up. Breath flowing, blood flowing, thoughts flowing, time flowing. Make the most of the time that you have. That doesn't mean always be busy. Sometimes it means exactly the opposite. Let your feet come back down to the floor. Flatten your palms, using your arms to help you come down slowly. And make your way to Shavasana. Final resting pose, laying on your back. Make whatever adjustments you need to. But when I say adjustments, I meant to the pose, not to yourself. You are fine just the way you are. And I want to see if I've got this poem to read for you guys. And probably do, yeah. So, if you've practiced with me in the summertime, you've definitely heard this before. I don't know that I've read it yet this summer. And given we've got plenty of summer left, but school's going to start soon. So Mary Oliver, Summer's Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who's gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Start to bring movement back into your body and make your way to a seated position. And as you do that, thank you, I love you, body. As you do that, find gratitude for this beautiful vessel that we have been given, even with all of its flaws, its bumps and lumps and aches and pains and whatever you got going on that your brain says to be mean to your body. That is not how I hope you want to spend your one wild and precious life, criticizing and being mean to yourself. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will be here next Wednesday, virtual yoga at GOCA, actual yoga wherever you lay down your mat. Namaste.